Good morning, Story Trading VIPs. It's Tuesday, January 24th. I'm still here on vacation in the hotel room. So again, apologize ahead of time. May have some distractions during the show. I'll be back at the office on our regular routine tomorrow. So QQQ SPY, the big deal is earnings. It starts up Microsoft after hours today, Tesla tomorrow after hours. Thursday, it's going to be Intel, and then next week, Tesla. So I mean next week, Apple, I believe. So listen, by now you should know where I stand is you go into these earnings and there's a lot of risk. So it's a good idea to have some cash to the side, maybe have some hedge. But if you look at the overall moving averages, you really don't know what direction it's going to go. It can keep going. You look at between the 200 and the 50 on the Q, there's room to the upside. SPY, each of these look a little bit different. SPY is already basically at the 50 DMA, that 50-week EMA. This is the weeklies right here. Let's just double check that. Yep. So we really don't know which direction it's going to go. Okay. It is possible it goes up still, and it's obviously possible it goes down. So we're going to be careful and raising cash ahead of Microsoft tonight. I think that's going to be a very wise thing to do. All these other signals to me right now is a little bit of nonsense. Really doesn't matter to me what TLT, UP, RK, Bitcoin are doing. It really comes down to earnings tonight on Microsoft and how the rest of earnings season goes. So let's go to individual stocks. Yesterday, we actually killed it with Air, a perfect call. Now, 2 days in a row, we've had perfect calls. On Friday, we had that perfect call to $32. Yesterday, we had the perfect call to $35. It hit $34.98. So we got the number on this stock and the price action. At this point, I actually sold it. Hit 35, pulled back. I was waiting to see if it would break it. I think it went 34.98. I was waiting to see if it would break over. It didn't. It started moving down. So I sold all of my trading shares at like 34.65 at 34.70, something like that, especially because we have Microsoft coming up. So took some off the table, have some cash to possibly redeploy if this does a pullback to $30, something in that range. And also looking at short puts, a very good idea on AEHR. But, Craig Halem upgraded to $45. And I do think this is heading much higher than that, later in 2023 into 2024. So if it runs away from you, you can never be surprised, right? So that's why I continue to hold a core position in my IRA on AEHR. Did I lose it? All right, so that was AEHR. And then GNS we'll talk about in a second. So we had two big winners yesterday, AEHR and GNS. But I want to start with Amazon. There was some interesting news out here about Amazon unveils generic prescription drug plan for Prime members, only $5 a month. That was eye-popping to me because it seems like almost unaffordable. Like they may be trying to crush the competition over here. So if you take, so I'm looking at, are there any short opportunities? I quickly looked up CVS, but one that really came to mind was GoodRx. That's GDRX here at $5.53. It's had a nice run up. It's in between the 50 and the 200 DMAs right here. So you would have thought that this could make a run to $7. But with this news of Amazon, that's big news. I'm thinking this could pull back, maybe pull back to $5 or something like that. So this is something I may actually be looking into buying puts on this morning, GDRX, just because that Amazon news, the pricing so aggressive, it's got to be designed to kill someone else. And I'm thinking that's how the market might see that on GDRX. AMLI, American Lithium, I pointed this out yesterday that I thought it's a good time to start establishing a position because uranium has been very, very strong. And if you remember the thesis, they switched the name to American Lithium. So I'm like, hey, people may be forgetting about the uranium, and they're doing a spinoff of the uranium assets. So anticipating that PR will come soon, that the date of the spinoff or more details about that spinoff, might be a good time to start getting into it. Now you see American Lithium up 6% this morning on other news, which we didn't expect. American Lithium announces royalty buyback, and they're doing it with shares. So some company in Nevada, Alaska Mining was getting some royalty for one of their mines, or it's supposed to be once it's in production. So now they're issuing 950,000 shares to get back that royalty. That sounds pretty bullish, as this company is willing to take shares in AMLI instead of cash. That's a very interesting, and I think that it was done. What price was it done here? I think no, there's no price issue. No, it's just 950,000 to just get those shares. Right. Okay. So, so in any case, pretty bullish thing that's happening here at the American. Unfortunately, I don't have a chart. TD messes up this particular chart for some reason. It does that sometimes after an uplisting. So AMLI, but I looked on E-Trade this morning, and I think that possibly another couple bucks in this. This can maybe go into the 4s or close to 5 on a run on the uranium spinoff, and of course we have this nice catalyst this morning. I want to mention a couple other. SKYT, I don't know it well, but I threw in the analyst report in the VIP research room a few months ago saying, hey, I got a lead from someone on this. It looks pretty interesting. I put the report out there. Didn't really hear back from anyone. I do have a starter position in this as a semiconductor fab company, and there was some news. Varego Technologies to move all its manufacturing stateside in strategic partnership with SKYT. The stock obviously has been strong along with everything else. It's kind of approaching this resistance level at $10. So maybe this could be a catalyst that can cause the stock to move today. It does look significant based on the read of the PR, but I don't know SKYT well, don't know the fundamentals well. So I don't have high conviction that this is going to be moving up today, but certainly if it moves up, it looks like it can be attributed to this PR, which looks nice. SMSI, I want to mention this morning, there's some stuff going around about T-Mobile Tuesdays. They're featured, family mode featured in T-Mobile Tuesdays again today. So that could be a catalyst that can start moving the stock. Look, we have a 2,200 bullish cross developing on SMSI. I really like this one, especially after the presentation we had with Brian last week. So you can see the 200 DMA all the way up here at $4. So I don't know if today it's going to move based on that nugget, especially with market potential headwinds, market down ahead of Microsoft. But I definitely like generally where we are with the stock. I like the catalyst and the fundamentals and the bullish cross that's starting to form on SMSI. So really happy with that. So potentially some upside on that nugget, but that's not in the news feed, so I'm not sure that'll happen. Okay, Microsoft earnings tonight. Not going to make a prediction about it. Just know that that's a risk to the market. Tesla, listen, earnings are tomorrow, but this has gotten getting very close to the 50 DMA swing target we put on this at 150. It's hit a lot of our objectives here since the 20 DMA break. 150. It looks like it really wants to go there. Does it go there because as a reaction to earnings tomorrow? Does it go as a event anticipation run by tomorrow afternoon? I don't know. But it really, I almost feel like it's going to go there anyway, regardless of the earnings report. A lot is discounted in this earnings report already. So even if it's bad, you may have an initial reaction. If we don't get 150 before the report, we may get 150 after the report regardless. So that's a pretty strong looking chart on Tesla TSLA. We talked about air. Clearfield, I went in the room, I went on a limb, I called the bottom, and I bought call options yesterday. I think a nice reversal. I really don't like this bearish cross forming up here, but that's almost meaningless if we get a huge event with earnings, a blowout earnings report. So you can see the conversation we've been having in the Clearfield room about what kind of price re-ratings we could possibly see with Clearfield the day after earnings if it does come as a big beat. So you can look at that, but man, it's been tough with Clearfield this past month. And let's see, I called the bottom yesterday. Let's see if it actually plays. I think there's an opportunity to go to like 87 without news at this point. This has been such a dramatic sell-off. I think you can get a technical bounce back to like 85, 87 level without the earnings report. So that's an opportunity there in and of itself without having to wait for earnings. Keep in mind, we do have CALX, CALX next week, which could have an impact on Clearfield. Some interesting news out of DRIO this morning, which I think could be. I have to research this guy a little bit more, but I think this could be market moving. Press release: DRIO adds new senior vice president of growth to expanding sales team. Now, this guy comes from Amazon Care. Now, I don't remember, was Amazon Care shut down or is it still going? I'm not sure. So did he most recently come from Amazon Care? It looks like it. And it says here he was leading the national channel sales and partnerships for Amazon Care. And then in prior roles, he held sales and leadership roles for both Cigna and Aetna. So it seems to be an important guy. And if you look at the fact that they're giving him 100,000 stock options, basically as a sign-on inducement to come on board, that basically gives credence to this thesis that this guy's a very important person, and an additional 100,000 options if he reaches performance milestones. So that's the case with DRIO. We could see a move. Look, I don't really trade DRIO. I don't talk about it much because I'm not trading it. I'm just holding a massive position long term. But if you look at the chart, you can see you have resistance here, obviously at the top of this candle, 678. if this is going to get a bid on this news, that's where you think it would be heading to, 678. Okay, so 1 second, guys. Okay, go open the door, go. All right, sorry for that. He is so cute. My son is here, and my wife is not here to look at him. All right, we're gonna have to go. All right, we're gonna have to actually. You know what I'm gonna do? We're gonna do this. We're gonna play a little explainer video while I take care of something. I'll be right back.
It's not easy to understand why stocks go up and down, but even in volatile markets, there's always a discoverable and logical reason behind price action. StoryTrading is a social investing community of investors who share information to uncover the hidden stories behind the trade through the 4 pillars of fundamentals, catalyst, sentiment, and technicals. All price action can be understood through the lens of these pillars, allowing for a holistic view that empowers better decision-making. Only by understanding markets can you beat them. Join our community today and start making sense of markets.
And that's how we do it. It's story trading. I love the 4-pillar style. It works out really well for us. All right, GNS was a huge winner for us yesterday. Look, there's no, I mean, there are actually fundamentals of this company, but look, it's moved from under $1 to $6. This turned out to be great. Took some profits yesterday. I actually went all out. I'm still playing this theme with the BTB and CRTD. There was another one yesterday. I just didn't play it right. HLBZ, which really took off like 100%. I actually held it Friday over the weekend. I did not play. I actually lost money on this one. The bad execution at HLBZ, but I made it all back up and then some with GNS. But yeah, I'm holding BTB. I think has less downside here. You can see they did an offering several days ago, and it's trading well below the offering price. So I think it was $4.50. Also warrants included. So if you do like a Black Skulls analysis to get a calculator, maybe it's going to be much lower than 450, but still you got 3-day rule applied for this big drop. So you have relative downside protection compared to continuing to play GNS or that other penny stock I just showed you with the same catalyst that they formation of special task force to investigate illegal short selling. So BTB, I really like over here. I was comfortable holding it overnight because of that relative downside protection. Same thing with CRTD now. This one's not really taking off because it's OTC. But again, some relative stability here. You can see the support. It really hasn't moved based on what's happening with this theme. It did have its big move earlier, a couple of months ago, based on what they're trying to do with short sellers to 25 cents to 150. I believe that was the reason for it because this has been a while ago. They're using the same attorney as GNS. And in a video that's out there on YouTube, it seemed like he was floating some big news coming out for CRTD. He wasn't clear which company it was for. He did say, I'm not telling you which company I'm talking about, but he made those comments right after talking about CRTD. And he even mentioned it by name. You had to like pause the video, take a screenshot, zoom into it to figure out the name of the company and pull out the ticker symbol CRTD. It is common knowledge out in social media, though, that CRTD has some association with the attorney at GNS. Well, I don't know how much common knowledge, but it is known out there. It's not a secret. Let's put it that way on that. So that's BTB, by the way, has some clear targets right here. It's going to be the high right here from a couple days ago, 281, and then the gap there at 319. So big percentage move possible from 281 to 319 here, sitting at 225 on BTB. All right, LLAP. I still like this one. I held this overnight. I think we can call this it's met our $2 swing target objective. The first one, and now we're putting a second swing target on it of 250 because it had a nice close yesterday. Really, I was looking for it to hold $2, and it pretty much did. So I think 250 now is your target. You can see all that congestion there with those candles. You can see 250 is generally a support line, and that's why I'm thinking 250 would be the next target on LLAP. BBBY. Listen, there's apparently some rumor out there, which is, I'm sure, completely false and fabricated. They're going to merge with GameStop after the close today. Maybe that's why this is moving up, but from industry insiders, I'm hearing this is going to happen. They are going bankrupt. It's almost a certainty. And it's just a question of, is it this week? Is it next week? Is it in 2 weeks? I really don't know. You can see this bounce off the support, though. Looks a little bit scary for shorts. Who knows how far can this bounce run? I think, it can run until they file for bankruptcy potentially. So I don't know. So this one, a little difficult to play the way I've been playing it with puts. We'll have to see. maybe safer to go out further. CVV, that silicon carbide production stock, really took off yesterday. This one's really low volume, hard to play. I did talk to management and I passed on those notes from that management call last week, and seems like there's a lot of good things going on here. I'm not currently holding it. I was hoping to get them. I didn't do a full interview because I really wanted them to do the interview live for our community. So hopefully we'll get that interview from CVV management at some point. I'll follow up with them so we can really do a deep dive and understand the opportunity here. But lots of good things cooking there with silicon carbide production and insider buy from that 10% holder recently. Just want to point out Tableau, one of our swing positions, and I haven't been in this because I had to rotate out into some other goodies, but Tableau continuing to hit our initial swing targets, bullish crosses, really good fundamentals with that deal with Yahoo. And I think, I don't have my swing sheet in front of me, but I think we had put our highest at 450, I think, at 4 and then 450 are the next two swing targets, I believe. So that's something we'll have to check our swing sheet chart on that. CTLP, another big winner that I had to take some off the table after it met all our objectives. They have earnings coming out. They announced an earnings date. It looks like 550 would be, I think that's the final, I think it was 550 was the final, no, the final swing target we had on this was also 690. So maybe 550 and then 690. But, you know, maybe we'll see an earnings anticipation run into earnings February 7th. And then hopefully we'll have a crush job and we can make it towards the 200 DMA. So I continue to hold a core longer term position on CTLP. But I don't no longer have those trade positions. All right, we're going to bring on Vegas in just a second. I did want to quickly mention DermTech. I love this company, but I missed it, unfortunately. I was waiting for a pullback here, maybe reload at $3. Didn't work out, and now above the 200 DMA, but I'll continue watching this. Maybe there'll be an opportunity. Maybe they'll miss earnings, and I'll be able to get in. XXII, we're watching that after that great news they had last week. Kind of stagnating in here, but 125, it hit that initial swing target. So 125, then 150 on XXII. I want to point out STNG has been pulling back. The stock from Matt S has a lot of fundamentals that really supporting this. So it looks like we're entering a support level here, 46.30 at the top of these candles, bottom of these, like around 46. So it looks like there's support. Obviously, yeah, there's also the 200 DMA at 41. But this is one at some point it's going to bounce off because of the massive insider buying that's happening and the massive share buybacks that are happening, like almost on a weekly basis on STNG. Really low PE, good fundamentals. So STNG, now it's pulling back, watching that for possible re-entry. And with that, we're going to bring on Vegas. We missed her yesterday, but we got her back today. Let's go. Vegas, good morning. How you doing?
Good morning, everyone. So I heard all the stuff you're trading. My gosh, that's a big list.
I got a big list, 300 stocks on our watch list. If anything jumped out at you that you're also following, would love to hear that first. I don't know
well, you know what? Yeah, so, I heard about your comments on BBBY, and I did mention this morning pre-market, there was a stock here called GROM. GROM has been on fire this morning on this actual stock, GROM. It is a low floater. It is a social media app for children. And that stock's just been on fire, GROM. And
see that 2 million shares outstanding.
And
was there a catalyst to spark? Was there a catalyst?
I didn't see any news. I mean, I looked for the news. I didn't see any news. But listen, this is a low floater. Could be the social media enterprise. And that's why it's moving. Maybe the low float didn't really, unless there was some news that came out that I didn't see. But anyways, that one's been moving this morning. But there was one that I really liked today that stood out for me was this company called BXRX. You know, BXRX.
Oh, I know it.
Earnings.
I know that.
Yeah. So I like this trade on BXRX simply because also earnings. They had some news too. They had I think it was a positive phase 2.
Wow.
That they came up with, and let me just here it is. They had a positive outcome in their interim analysis for a phase 2 experimental blocking agent for anyone that goes under elective surgery. And so this trial is to evaluate the neuromuscular blockade For anyone that goes under elective surgery, utilizing an intravenous anesthesia. So everyone that was under this test, there was good success, no severe or serious adverse events. So they're going to continue the study and expect to have top line results in April. So that one's been moving this morning. You can see here it's up this morning over 82%. I looked at the weekly chart. Looks actually really good. As long as it actually holds like around 550, this has room probably towards like 6, maybe a little higher. So, you know, just again, good news, maybe 625. And then I would reassess it from there. But that one looks, you know, that one looks really good. But from a swing trade, because I know you guys like swing trades, I'm long on Shopify. Shopify looks fabulous. And swing
I like swing trades. I like swing trades that also move big the same day. Like something that you can have a big move today because there's a catalyst today, and then you can hold it for like weeks to get a much bigger move because it's a catalyst that is fundamentally important to the company. Those are the best swing trades I love. But sorry to interrupt you. NVIDIA,
no, not at all. Yeah, no, I was saying I really like Shopify, and I mean NVIDIA was amazing yesterday. I mean that one had a nice pop. You know, we had Shopify looks great because a lot of Deutsche Bank issued a bullish call on it on Shopify, and we also had a lot of like dark pull on it here too. So you know, got to follow the smart money because smart money is what's going to move
that
stocks.
looks like a great chart. That looks like a cup and handle kind of breakout on Shopify.
Yeah, it's a beautiful chart. So long on Shopify.
Over the 50-week MA, I really like that chart. Let me ask you something though. Would you hesitate these big stocks like Shopify, NVIDIA, without a specific catalyst today? You're not hesitating ahead of earnings season with Microsoft and Intel and Apple? Like you'd still do these swing trades in this middle of earnings season?
Yeah, no, I don't mind. Like, listen, Microsoft could have a quote unquote, let's say, effect on some of these tech stocks, right? So you have to be conscientious about that. So some traders may just wait for Microsoft to report and see how it affects. But, you know, like NVIDIA was amazing yesterday. And I'm still looking for this continuation. One thing I did notice with NVIDIA in particular, and I am long on NVIDIA, and I'm not concerned about, you know, my option contracts. I mean, I have like February contracts. And I have the $200 calls in play. I bought them yesterday and made very, very, very good money on those. But NVIDIA has a new uptrend, okay? So when you see a new uptrend on a weekly chart, you have to pay attention because a new uptrend is very important. It's showing
right there over the 50-week EMA. That's the same break that Shopify had as well.
Yeah, but this one's a nicer chart than Shopify. So Shopify looks really good. Yeah, I like NVIDIA's chart a lot better. And just speaking of uptrends, you know what? Tesla has a new uptrend too. So people should be watching Tesla. I know Tesla has been getting slammed in the past because they're saying Elon Musk's focusing too much on Twitter. But, you know, really, if you really keep a watch on Shopify, Tesla, it is on a new uptrend. So definitely, I mean, for me today in particular, Tesla would have to get over 143.50 to have a continuation, and NVIDIA needs to get over 191. So if those two can break those levels today, we'll see some action. So looking forward to that. And by the way, you know, I talk about BABA all the time. And so BABA chart is gorgeous and still swing trading BABA and looking for it to go long, like long-term BABA, and the chart's gorgeous. And so right now it's kind of like in a range contraction. So it's not making the move just yet. But it's just, you know, something like the charts, the chart's not broken. So when a chart's intact, I don't need a catalyst. I like to, the chart looks good, you take a position and I wait and then I just let it go.
I don't have as much patience as you. Good for you. That's awesome. Tesla, guys, I just want to mention Tesla. This is one I'm remembering. If you want to follow Vegas, you can do that. I Love Stocks one. But Tesla does have earnings tomorrow. And I did mention before you came on that the chart looks so good, and it's already been discounted so much, bad earnings, that even if it's a bad earnings report, I feel like it's almost destined to at least test this 50 DMA at around 150, and then you can see the next level there is a 200-week moving average at 170. So I do like Tesla as well here.
Well, maybe Elon will surprise us, so we'll see.
Imagine if he
interesting character.
If they have something that doesn't disappoint Wall Street, and wow, imagine what happens there. All right, Vegas, I gotta go. It's almost showtime.
Yeah, enjoy your time off and have a great day. I'll see you tomorrow. Have a great day.
Thank you. You too. All right, guys, and there's not going to be any post-market wrap today either. And with that, we're out of here.